not the video I was planning on doing, but because I'm British and I like to complain, obviously, that is in my nature, and I've bought it, I'm going to do a mini review and my thoughts on the new Sengoku BASARA game, which is Yukimura-den. So, what an absolute fucking disappointment this game is. The game is fun, but I feel they've taken too much away from it. They've removed nearly all the humour, which is what made these games great. I mean, the games know they're stupid. The roulette in the last game was a prime example of this, and being able to turn into Kanetsugu the Invincible, i.e. killing everything in one hit and dying yourself in one hit. Where the fuck did it all go wrong? This game really lacks content. It's nearly up there with No Man's Sky for less than fuck all to do. And that's not even an exaggeration. There's only 10 stages in the main story, one of which is basically a one-on-one fight, and 2 of them are exactly the same stage, but with one of them, the later version, having a bit added onto it. The stages are obviously like normal Sengoku BASARA games and are fucking short as all hell. And to top it off, some of the stages have their length extended in a sort of most pathetic way with a long-ass boss fight, which you have to defeat characters 3 times in a row. I mean, why? It's like they knew this game has nothing, so let's add to the nothing with fucking boring-ass boss fights. Also has 13 side stories, and half of them are mainly 1v1 battles. And yes, they have the defeat the annoying twat 3 times in a row thing. Also, you can't change the difficulty for these, at least to my knowledge. So if you don't power up your characters, or their styles, which we'll get onto in a minute, you usually get destroyed in a couple of hits. And some of the characters you get given for them are shit, like Tenkai / Mitsuhide. He's one of his missions. I think he's a pretty shitty character. For comparison, the original BASARA 4 has 66 stages, and I am including the 1v1 battles in that too, so 39 if you take those away, and 42 if you include the Matabi intrusion versions of the stages. There's three stages which he appears in, which are basically exactly the same stage, except another guy turns up at the end. And finally, the other mode in this game is the Sanada Trials mode, which you fight mobs of enemies and other characters in duels over 60 rounds. It ends if you die or run out of time, which starts on 10 minutes and can be extended by completing bonus objectives or entering bonus round. Did I mention that it uses the same map for all of it? From what I've seen, fucking Christ alive. If it's not on the screen now, there will be footage in this video. It's a tiny, almost square map and a skyscraper, and that is it. For what I've seen, it does turn to night, so I mean that is sort of a change. And no, this mode isn't as fun as Attack of the Dojo in 4. I mean, at least that had some variation where if you do the I can't remember what it's called, but there's a mode where you basically fight all the playable characters, or NPCs if you're playing it in BASARA 4, and then bombs drop down in certain rounds, and then poison gas, so you have to be pretty quick. Now onto the characters. Because it's a BASARA game, you're basically on your own for the whole thing, 1 versus 1,000 and all that good stuff. With part of the stages giving you a companion, in some of the story you get a companion, one of them is Hanbei, and 2 stages give you the ability of switching character, an ability they've removed from the last 4 games. I think you can swap characters in 3. No, I don't think you can do that. You can in the expansion Utage, but yeah, you do get to swap characters. One of those characters being Masayuki Sanada in both stages. And the stages which gives you the ability of swapping character is a tower defense style gimmicky stage. So, and that is the stage that is repeated. So you know, nice to know they ran out of ideas there. Most, if not all, the character relations are reset in this game, other than Yukimura and Masamune, which they have a rivalry which starts as them as kids and shit. Sasuke, or Sasuke, or whatever, however you fucking pronounce his name, Yukimura's ninja, has basically no relation to him. he's in the story, but he's basically never spoken to at all. And there's a bit where he actually dies. Oops, spoilers. Though you can't really spoil this game because if you know Yukimura's life, it's sort of based on that, but added bits. So they don't really have a master or retainer relationship. There's a bit when he dies, so if this was your first game, you'd be like, why the fuck should I care? There's no real character progression at all. Well, I never gave a shit about any of them in any way. Nobuyuki joining Ieyasu has no progression either. He just sort of meets him twice and then fucking leaves the Sanada clan. I'm not really sure about some of the rest of the game. It's like characters like die, but then near the end, Motochika and Montanari Mori appear. It's like, what the fuck? It's like Montanari Mori died before the Battle of Okihazuna, and yet he's like at Osaka Castle. Right? What the fuck? Seriously? So I don't really get that. It's like, do you want to tell the story or not? Just baffling. I know they've sort of tried to do it their own way with the Yukimura and Masamune relationship, but it's just such a fucking jumble. Like, either keep all the character relationships or don't. Like, you know what I mean? Fucking stupid. Thankfully, one of the saving graces of this game is that they have made everyone from Sumeragi playable, aside from Kanetsugu the Invincible, which I haven't encountered him yet, but... Well, I don't think I have anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not in it. Even Ujimasa Hojo returns from 3, but he's unplayable, unfortunately. That was quite funny, as I got a few cheap laughs when he appeared. All the characters start with all skills available and at the maximum level, even from level 1, so that's a bit weird. There's no sort of character progression in the way of like unlocking new moves, which I kind of like, but then it sort of takes a bit away. I would have liked to been able to unlock the last 2 super moves, like have one unlocked and then unlock the other 2 or something, but whatever. As well as the returning cast, there is two new characters and 4 variations of previous characters, that being Yukimura and Masamune, with 2 versions for each of them. Of the 6 characters, 4 of them only have 1 super move and no skill revision, so no R1 plus square, the moves that were added in the last game. The 2 new characters are Masayuki and Nobuyuki Sanada. Masayuki plays like a trickster-style character, including a move that makes him invisible, and another move that sucks enemies up in his hat. I've enjoyed playing as him quite a lot. I think I must be like the only person that's enjoyed playing as him. Everyone seems to enjoy Nobuyuki, whereas I'm the opposite. I fucking hate playing as him. Getting on to Nobuyuki, he has the same gimmick as Hideyoshi. Did they literally run out of ideas or something? So he is able to grapple enemies and then attack using them while attached to the weapon. And his weapon is 2 TV aerials stuck to each other. I sort of like his moveset, but then I also don't. I think he looks fucking stupid. He has massive twin tails, like... I don't get it. Like, at least in Samurai Warriors 4, he looks sort of like Yukimura, so there's sort of that relationship. But in this, he just looks so different. He just looks fucking stupid. But whatever, that's just my opinion. So Masamune's new moveset has him use all 6 swords at once, which is quite cool. So it's basically like War Dance, except he holds his arms out like he's going to be fucking impaled on a cross or something. He can block and dodge with them, which is pretty good. I don't think he attacks any faster. I haven't really compared each of the movesets. His new moveset is highly mobile and you can get absolutely massive combos with it. However, one of his moves is essentially the same as his old set, the one where he puts all 6 swords in his hand and then sweeps right to left and then over his head and then slams down on the ground. Yukimura's new moveset lets him charge through the air and you can string any of his techniques together while doing this. To me, it's pretty cool gimmick, but it's pretty easy just to get stuck in that. And to me, his moveset lacks the youthful feel from his old one. Like in his old one, he sort of I don't know, it's sort of like he's clumsy, but he's like a youngish warrior, but in this he just sort of just flies through the air all the time. The other two characters, which are Bonten Maru and Ben Maru, being child forms of Masamune and Yukimura respectively, and their moves are similar to the new adult movesets, but they only utilise one sword or spear and have no super moves at all, which is a bit annoying. Their Basara techniques are really short, I mean they're only kids. Yeah, Yukimura has the gimmick of slashing through the air you have with his older moveset. Mechanics. So tag teams have been removed, which in my opinion isn't great. Okay, maybe it's not game breaking, but it makes it quite a lot less fun, especially for slower characters like Shingen, where it's their means of escaping the century-long charge you have from any of your moves, or using your partner to attack approaching enemies so it doesn't disrupt you from a combo or a charged move or something like that. I enjoyed the tag system. I mean, it gives you the ability to, if you get tired of using one moveset, that you can switch to another. So it's not like Dynasty Warriors where everyone uses square, square, triangle, square, square, triangle and shit like that. It's, I know I just said the same thing twice then. Because everyone plays differently, like you can charge moves with some characters have like rapid attacks, rapid combo moves where you like hold R1 and then mash square and shit. So it gives it a bit more variation, and I enjoy that with this series, but they sort of removed that, so you're now stuck with just using one character. So basically, if you feel sick and tired of using one character, you're fucking stuck with it. Unless you change stage, obviously, and then you can change character, but still. Now, onto my main gripe with this game. To me, Sengoku BASARA games have always been about choice, and being able to play in any style you like, with items and weapon inscriptions which bolster certain mechanics of the game. So if you want easier parries, you can add elements, you can higher critical chance rate, you can have that, or you can have skills that heal you when you dodge or block, whatever, more money. You can have defensive styles of play, you can be really aggressive, you can have fuck all attack, you can do all these things, you can be like a one-hit kill warrior if you want. So yeah, it was all about choice for me. Many of these inscriptions or skills get bundled together in rarer inscriptions in the previous games, so you can get inscriptions that have higher critical rate and higher critical damage. They're sort of combined to make one thing. So in Basara 4 you can have a maximum of 6 inscriptions, and so potentially 12 boosts to your abilities at maximum, so you can sort of really customise your play style, but not in this game. Yeah, they've removed nearly everything that made the previous game special. The weapon upgrading system has been removed and replaced with styles. So instead of weapon attributes, you now have styles, which give you 3 bonuses, usually focused on one mechanic of the game. So for example, there's styles that focus on the dodge mechanic and give bonuses such as healing when you successfully dodge. I mean, that is an attribute that's been in previous games. Temporary invincibility when finishing a dodge, more lenient time frame at executing a dodge, and that's it. So if you pick that style, you only get those 3 bonuses. You can't customise, you can't mix and match. It's fucking utterly disappointing. So if you wanted an element, you can't have that, because you can't have this fucking dodge style with an element or anything like that. However, that is not the end of this. Now there's the bushjin system. I think that's how you pronounce it. In the words of the developer, it's designed to encourage aggressive style of play. Yep. The bushjin system works by powering up your character's style abilities by defeating enemies with blue health bars. Defeating more and more enemies will level up your style skills, and getting hit powers down your skills. To me, this seems really fucking counterintuitive, promoting different styles of play with the style system, which I don't think it really does that well anyway, and then encouraging aggressive style of play with the bushjin system. I mean, that is, like, what the fuck? It's like, the games have always been about choice and how you play, and then it's like, oh no, you have to play aggressively. Like, what the fuck? Seriously, why? And some of the skills don't even make sense. It's like, if you get hit, your skills power down, but then it's like, if you power up your bushjin style, you get more defense. Like, why? You're supposed to be aggressive. Oh yeah, let's focus on defense. That doesn't fucking make any sense. Why would you even have that in the first place? So fucking stupid. And the thing is, if you don't focus on defensive styles of play anyway, you get fucking annihilated. Well, if you don't power up your characters enough. So basically for the hardcore players, basically. Or people who just play Kenshin. I just want to say with the powering up, defeating enemies thing, and unlocking better abilities and stuff, that reminds me of the Renbu system from Dynasty Warriors 6, a system that everybody hated. I'm just going to put that out there. I mean, they've literally gone down the Dynasty Warriors 6 thing. It's like, fuck's sake. So, there we go, that's my thoughts on this train wreck of a game. Yes, I did write most of it down because I thought I'd forget most of it, so yeah, if it does sound a bit weird and all over the place, that is why. Is it fun, the game? Yes, it's quite a lot of fun. I mean, it's quite difficult to have a hack and slash game and it not be fun. It's a step down from the last two games, like massively. And also, for a joke, they have already reduced the price, and it's, well, by the time this video's out, it hasn't even been a week. It was like 7,000 yen, it's like now 6,000. I mean, I think they knew this game had nothing going for it. I think they tried to shit it out as soon as they possibly could. I mean, did they find out about Koei's new, like, Sanada Yukimura, whatever it is, their new one? I mean, were they that desperate to get this game out? I mean, it fucking has nothing. It's fun, but I say it's more enjoyable than No Man's Sky. Fuck that game. Yeah, basically, it has no content. It forces people into the same style of play. The story isn't that great or well written. It's disappointing on nearly every level. It's pretty sad. So basically, this game is for the hardcore Basara players out there. Yeah. As a final thought, interestingly, now Tora's personal style, which are basically the personal inscriptions from the previous games, which change your style of play in sort of a massive way. Hers got changed. You now get more bushjin from fighting both men and women. 1.5 for men and 3 times for women, which I thought was a bit weird. And interestingly, it has no effect on genderless enemies such as like tanks and shit. Yeah, is that in the Drillotron? I can't remember. But interestingly, in the genderless enemies, it includes Kenshin, which placed into the myth that he was actually a woman, which I kind of like that. Yeah, people seem to think that because he had no biological children themselves even. Yeah, I sort of like that idea. And there's another thing, apparently Katsuie might have a different voice actor, because he sounds a lot different in this compared to the old one, although I do believe that is sort of down to him not being all depressed in this game. But there you go, there's my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed. I mean, this video is now like 20 minutes long, but what the fuck ever. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this rant. Maybe you don't, but there we go. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.